What's going on, everyone? So what a game yesterday. Riley Minix hits the game-winning turnaround buzzer beater. That was just a back-and-forth game. Seriously, I loved what we saw in that game. That was probably one of the best Summer League games that, I can remember seeing in a long time. Right? It was, you got your money's worth for that game. It was just back and forth the entire time, overtime, all that stuff. And then to end on a buzzer beater, chef kiss, right? But the other part was Dylan Harper. Right, we've kind of gotten to see a couple games on Dylan Harper, and so I wanted to kind of go over some of the pros and cons. Right, Riley, I'm excited to see what he ends up doing if the Spurs end up bringing him on. Remember, they still have 2 open roster spots, so they kind of bring him back, let him kind of play a season or so on the roster. But you also got David Jones-Garcia. He's been their best player, right? Like, so again, Spurs are going to have some decisions to make here, but Dylan Harper is the surefire guy that's going to be on the roster. And again, now that we've seen a couple games from him, kind of wanted to go over some of the pros and cons. So I want to start with the pros because always want to start on a positive note. The pros are the guy is elite at creating that dribble penetration. Already at a high, that was kind of like the big thing, right? Like in college, he was one of the best rim pressure guards arguably ever at for as advanced as he is at a college level. His ability to get to the rim, his ability to create that dribble penetration, get past the defense, that first step, all of it, right? And you're seeing that. His ability to just, the guy's going to be an elite scorer. Seriously, the guy is going to be very good scoring the basketball, right? And just kind of being that offensive engine for teams, right? But, and look, it's Summer League. I want to be clear, right? The cons aren't like cons, right? Like, again, he's a rookie. It's Summer League, right? Who knows what the team has told him to do and not do, right? But one of the things I talked about after game 1 was that I really wanted to see him kind of be more of a distributor, right? Get other guys involved more. And since then, it kind of feels like it's gotten worse, right? Like he's gotten this like tunnel vision. And you see guys are completely checked out of plays at times. He has the basketball and he's gunning. He's going. Now, again, it might just be through the flow of things. Right? Who knows what the Spurs have told him. But one of the concerns with Dylan Harper out of, college, out of Rutgers was, hey, this guy's vision of the court is very limited. Right, that was kind of like him as a true playmaker, right? He's talked about a Cade Cunningham, James Harden. Yes, those guys can score the basketball. Those guys can apply the rim pressure, get into the teeth of the defense, knock down the mid-range, be a legit 3-level scorer. But those guys can also wheel it. Right? Those guys can also make plays through James Harden was putting up like 60-point triple doubles, right? So again, those guys, yes, can score at such an elite level, which Dylan Harper, I do believe, is going to be able to show you. However, he needs to be able to make plays and read and react defenses, right? So, when I'm not saying he can't and shouldn't be aggressive, he should. But you see guys that are very aggressive, but when a play opens up and develops, right, I am cutting. I am creating that dribble penetration. The defense collapses. I got Harrison Barnes as a cutter. Boom, easy bounce pass, right? Or Victor Wembanyama's easy lob, right? Seeing those plays break down and develop in front of you. Understanding and knowing where guys are on the basketball court, right? All of those things I want to see a little bit of progress on. Because, again, if the goal is for him to be the primary ball handler at some point and be the guy that's going to have to operate as such, then he needs to work and improve on that. That's something that hopefully a guy like a De'Aaron Fox, because De'Aaron Fox is a guy that likes to look to score. Right? He's a guy that is looking to go get his buckets, operate in that office, that 15-foot range, right? But he's a guy that can make some plays, and can find the cutter and play a 2-man game and all that stuff. So, the idea is like Dylan Harper and Victor Wembanyama are your future. Dylan Harper needs to be able to play off of Wemby too, not just, hey, every time you touch the basketball, you're looking to score and just getting kind of random, kickouts when you have no choice, right? So he's got to find that balance. Again, that's fine. He'll come. I'm not worried about it, but it's just something that I want to see him kind of continue to grow and progress. And I'd like to see maybe a game of him just, if I was the coaching staff, I'd tell him, right? Be like, hey, look, love what you're doing out there scoring wise. We know you can score. I want to see what playmaking Dylan Harper looks like. Show me the ways that you would get and impact this team as the primary playmaker. Put the ball in his hands and let him distribute. Let him kind of be the guy out there running the show and see what does it look like with him running the show. Is that something he's capable of doing right now? Or is it something that, yes, we're definitely going to need to work on in the future, right? Because, again, it would be nice to know, can Dylan Harper run the second unit? Because De'Aaron Fox is going to be your point guard in the first unit, right? So when De'Aaron Fox is on the bench, are you going to have to go to Jordan McLaughlin, or can Dylan Harper be that guy for you? Right? But you're going to need him to be able to make plays too, not just be a scorer, right? Because if he's just going to be a scorer, then no, he can't do that. You need to have Jordan McLaughlin be that guy for you, and then Dylan Harper's just kind of that scorer off the bench or in the starter, whatever, however they end up going with him. But you see where the things are. The other thing too is just defensively, right? And this is less of a knock than the playmaking element of it, just because again, most rookies coming in, right, especially ones like Dylan Harper, especially at the guard position, right, it takes time, right? So I'm not really worried about the defense side of things. He gets after it, right? He's made a couple great defensive plays and had some defensive sequences, but he's a little too over aggressive at times, which is great. Because I would rather somebody be over-aggressive than not aggressive enough. But you see, like, the foul trouble, and come actual NBA, teams are going to know that. Like, okay, you're aggressive, so I'm gonna bait you. And if he's falling for that bait, he's going to have a lot of games where he's fouling out quickly, right? Like, it's easy to kind of do that. And in Summer League, you're allowed, like, 12 fouls. But he's already had games where it's just like, oh, like, dude, this is an NBA game. You'd already be out, right? Like, but it's Summer League. So definitely want to see him have better defensive positioning, right? Him being able, I'm not expecting him to be elite. I'm not expecting him to be, locked down, but can he not be like James Harden bad, right? Like, I mean, James Harden's credit, he's had some games and some seasons where he's actually been pretty good, but like Cade Cunningham can defend, right? Like SGA, right? He's not looked at as this elite defender, but he can defend. He's good. He's one of like the lesser defenders on an OKC team, but that's because everyone else is so great that it also makes him look bad. But he's still a good defender, right? He can still hold his own on the defensive side of things. That's what I want to see from Dylan Harper, right? Him being able to be that guy that can defend and again, not expected, because he's going to be responsible for so many things, right? Making plays, scoring buckets, right? Like being the offensive engine in a lot of ways, that I'm okay with him just being okay, or good, right? Be serviceable. I'm not expecting you to be the best defensive player on the Spurs. That's why you have guys like Carter Bryant and so on and so forth that you're growing and developing. But, I don't want to see him get beat every possession, beat off the dribble every possession. And then also when you are standing in front of guys, you're just fouling. So it's like, it's a lose-lose either way, right? He needs to kind of work on those things, which again, he's a rookie. I want to be clear. He is a rookie. He's going to, even during the regular season, he's going to have games where you're like, dude, this guy might be out of the league in 2 years. And he's going to have games where you're like, this guy's going to be the best player in the league in 2 years, right? Like, it's how it goes with rookies. Even Wemby had games where you're like, man, I really wish we had that one back, right? Like, it's part of the development. These aren't knocks in the sense of like, oh, he's like, I think that guy's going to be elite. I think that guy's going to be fantastic. But if we're going to give proper analysis, and we're going to do proper breakdowns, we got to talk about not just the pros, but also the cons too, and things that need to be worked on. Just like the Spurs are doing with Dylan. You don't think the Spurs aren't having Dylan Harper watch tape and, hey, this is what you're doing wrong, this is what you're doing right type thing? Of course, right? So break it down. But anyways, always, this is a discussion. Pass question you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me a lot. So we enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one.